recording this late at night, nearly midnight on Wednesday the 17th. So almost the 18th of February. And I'm going to find a way to get this file uploaded as soon as I can so you can get this information. The media are not reporting how bad the situation has become in Texas, at least in central Texas. So I'm an eyewitness. I went out today. I was able to witness things with my own eyes that were just shocking, and I'm going to report that here. Again, this is all firsthand information with my own two eyes. I could not believe what I saw. And of course, we're experiencing now day 4 of the rolling blackouts in Texas because the power companies did not anticipate this event because it's outside their standard deviations of possibilities. And so we are now suffering a series of cascading failures of infrastructure where, for example, the power outages are leading to a collapse of municipal water systems. And then the power outages are also causing businesses, even power generation companies, to be unable to operate their circulation pumps. So their systems are freezing and pipes are bursting. And it's bad. I mean, I'm kind of chuckling because I guess ultimately I'm an optimist, but this is as bad as I've ever seen it. And I lived in South America. It wasn't this bad. You know, I lived in a third world developing nation essentially, and it wasn't this bad. So here's what's really happening. I went out today. The roads are still very bad, still icy. And those of you who live in northern states, you're like, what's the big deal? It's just a little bit of snow. Well, the problem is there are no snow plows in most of Texas, except in the very northern areas. There are no snow plows because there's never any snow, really. And so there is not even a system of snow plows and snow plow drivers and salt for the roads. Like those of you who live in Montana, you have a whole system of how to deal with this. Your city has a system. Once the snow starts, the snow plow drivers kick into action and they clear the roads, and everybody's got 4-wheel drive vehicles and people are experienced in driving in the snow and so on. And the snow is not even the problem here. The problem is the freezing rain. It's the black ice on the roads. And people from Texas have no experience driving on black ice. Now, I'm from the Midwest, so I have some experience. Well, grew up driving in the snow and the ice, so I've been okay. But a lot of people do not do that. Even when I was out driving today, people were following me too closely behind me. Like, hey, people, don't you realize your stopping distance is, 10 times longer than normal now? But people don't get that. And that's how you end up with these 100 vehicle pileups on Interstate 35, which happened a few days ago. And people died, massive rigs just slamming into passenger vehicles, tossing them into the air like tiddlywinks. It was insane. And people just got crushed and died. Again, it's because of the black ice situation. And so this freezing rain, even when it melts during the day on the roads, and the roads get wet, but then in the evening, the temperature drops again to like 15 degrees or 5 degrees, and then it's ice. And so you have all these accidents. So emergency services are stressed to their limit. And as a result of all these accidents, then the normal deliveries that would take place, such as fuel deliveries and grocery deliveries, are not happening. In fact, UPS and FedEx are not running anything, at least not in Central Texas. And because in our case, Health Ranger store, we ship out packages every day. Normally, we haven't been able to ship out anything because our drivers actually called us and said, guess what? There's no service. UPS has us all at home. And even at home, they have no power. So these rolling blackouts are continuing now into the 4th day across Texas, and people are sleeping in their cars. They're running their cars all night to have some heat because they're freezing to death in their homes. And most of the homes in Texas are built for electric heat, and they don't anticipate these sustained cold temperatures that we're experiencing right now. And so electric heat puts a strain on the grid like you can't believe. Using electricity to generate heat is a very inefficient and power-hungry concept or activity. And so everybody's trying to heat their homes. Boom, all the power's gone. So they're having rolling blackouts. Energy prices have gone through the roof and so on. In fact, when I was able to get online, I saw an article earlier today that based on current electricity prices in Texas, to charge a Tesla electric car, just to charge it, a full charge, costs $900 worth of electricity. $900 freaking dollars. Boy, it's a good time to have a diesel truck, isn't it? Because diesel's pretty darn affordable right now, if you can get it. And that's why it's good to have a big diesel tank like I have. And I've always recommended that, store energy on your ranch if you can, or, your country property, store energy. Have a propane tank, have a diesel tank, and then have a wood burning stove. Those are the things that are saving me right now. I got to tell you, stored energy in the form of diesel and wood and propane. I was able to take a hot shower for the first time in 3 days yesterday because of propane. And I got my water system running again after the pipes had all burst. But I'll get to that later. But man, never thought a hot shower would feel so amazing just to have hot water running over your body. It's a blessing. Don't take it for granted, because most people in Texas are not getting any kind of shower. So they're living in their cars and they're using gasoline or diesel in their cars. And if they haven't stored that fuel, then they're running out, because what I saw with my own eyes today is the gas stations are out of fuel. That's at least in Central Texas. They're sold out. There's no more gas because the delivery trucks can't navigate the roads because the roads are too treacherous. And I was at the grocery store. It's a long story of why I actually went there, but I thought I could double up on a couple of tasks, and I wanted to see for myself what the situation was there. And I needed some bananas too. My banana supply is running a little bit low because I use bananas in my smoothies. And so I wouldn't have made a trip just for the bananas, mind you, but I had to go for other reasons. So I decided I'm going to get some bananas. I walked in. There's no produce. I mean, gone like a giant vacuum from the sky came in and sucked up all the fresh produce. There was not a banana to be seen anywhere. There was no fruit, no vegetables, not a single avocado, nothing. It was wiped out. And it was pretty busy. By the way, pretty busy store. A lot of people in there buying food. They were braving the roads as well, because the roads, and this was midday. This was during the hottest part of the day when the roads were not that treacherous. That's the smart time to go out in these things. So I decided to check out the whole store. The meat section wiped out. Only thing left was organic hot dogs because they're very, very expensive. So I bought a bunch of organic hot dogs. You're gonna kick me for this, but I bought them as treats from my dogs. Because my dogs are cooped up in the barn, sleeping in straw all day. I've got my dogs and my goats, and I've got 2 chickens. Well, actually 1 rooster and 1 hen that have decided to hang out with the goats, and they're all in this giant mound of straw. Maybe I should just take a picture. It's really funny. There's dogs and goats and chickens just in a giant mountain of straw, and I'm their servant because I'm bringing them food and water, and I have to hand carry the water and everything, and I have to feed them multiple times a day. So I was trying to get these organic hot dogs. Figured, get some dog treats here since nobody else is buying them. I'll just buy them for dog treats. Just like healthy food for my dogs. But all the other meat was just gone. It was wiped out. Totally wiped out. And a lot of the frozen foods were wiped out. there was still some sort of shelf-stable food on the shelf, like cereal and oatmeal and bags of chips and things like that. But it looked like those were going to get wiped out pretty quickly. But the produce was history. It was gone. And the meat section was mostly just wiped. And I thought, wow, it's like this store has been ransacked by looters or something. That's what it was like. Just incredible. So obviously, grocery stores are having problems supplying food. And I'd received reports from other people here that many grocery stores were closed. So the fact that I found an open grocery store was something of a miracle, and it may not be open tomorrow. Who knows? But a lot of grocery stores have been closed. So people have been running out of food. I've also heard from other people I know who know people in Houston and San Antonio and other cities where, they're having rolling blackouts. There's no water and they have no food, and they're rationing what little food that they had in their pantry and thinking probably, gosh, I wish I were a prepper. Because let's face it, preppers are doing pretty darn good compared to most other people right now in this scenario. And I'm a prepper, and I consider myself very fortunate compared to what's impacting a lot of other people. That's why I didn't buy too many of the organic hot dogs. I wanted to leave some for other people as well. I didn't like wipe out the organic hot dog section, In fact, I didn't buy very much at all while I was there. It was mostly like, wow, this is crazy. Just looking at it.